Hey folks, are you in the mid-eras of a TLP and struggling to find a good upgrade for that old Charm AUG from Slipgear you got back in Dark Hollow? 10AC is getting a bit dated by now, isn't it? Well, I've got the quest you need to complete then. If you do the whole quest, you can get a really nice Charm AUG item, but even if you stop early, you'll probably get an upgrade, so it's well worth the effort. This is one of the Living Legacy style raids and becomes active for about a month each year, centered around Thanksgiving in the US, and it's called Dragons, Dragons, Dragons. You get the quest from this emissary fellow in Plane of Knowledge, and note you can't take mercs into these, so you'll have to go it old school style. You also can't add people later on, so choose wisely when you start. I chose unwisely and am doing this run without a healer at all, but I still got pretty far along, so let's take a look. Okay, so basically how it works is you go through and kill a bunch of the early expansion dragons, and then talk to the emissary who spawns after you kill them to move on to the next one. These should all be super trivial for quite a while. I hear Trax doesn't banish. Not that I gave him the time to do so at level 90 anyways, he pretty much fell directly over. I think Kestana from DON was the first one I had to remember a bit back on the mechanics of how it worked. But as you can see here, there's quite a lot of early dragons, so it's not too bad to get your eventual reward some upgrades if you don't want to keep going all the way to the end. Or, without a healer in my case, couldn't go all the way until the end. The last one I was able to kill was Vishimtar, which was a strange fight boxing 4 tunes to say the least. I forgot there's a mechanic where the death touch will overwrite the previous one, so with only 4 tunes, every tune is going to get the death touch emote each time. You don't need to cure yourself each time in all the tunes, it'll just overwrite itself and you can keep going. Anyways, that one took a while. My enchanter died, and somehow even with Levitate, one of my guys got knocked down to the bottom floor, so I ended up killing it with the 2 remaining and a Steadfast Servant. I tried Lethar 2.0, which was next up in the list, but that proved a bit too hard. It was doing too much damage to heal with Steadfast Servants and heal pots. Oh, that appears to be a one-way trip to the guild lobby. Okay, so what's the reward after doing all that? The way you determine the stats on this is a bit strange. The name of the charm you receive is based on your account age. So with a max age account, you get an XIV or 14 one, which has max stats that look like this. The actual stats you get on it are, however, dependent on how far along you got in the quest. As with a lot of charm associated items, just figuring out the actual stats is a bit wonky. So make sure you equip it in your charm item, equip and unequip that charm item in your inventory, and then show modified stats on the AUG to see what it's really doing. Getting all the way through Vishimtar came out like this. Not half bad, and definitely an upgrade over your old Slipgears. So what if you've got a newer account? Well, you don't get an item with such good stats, but it can be worthwhile depending on how far along in the task you go. Here's an example through Vishimtar, again with an III AUG as a reward. So that's an account that's 3 years old. So that's still not so bad for boxes and such. Oh, and as a byproduct, you also get a second regular AUG, which is pretty mid, but can sometimes find a home on boxes also. Alright, hope that's useful. Happy dragon hunting, and good luck out there, everyone.